inspiration, motivation, or hope? Do you let fear hold you back? Sometimes you feel lost or just stuck in your own thoughts, and you want a clear path to give you results. Then, my friend, you are in the right place. My name is Rachel Best, and I am your host of How to Make a Mark in the World, Finding Your Signature. Go ahead and grab a pen and paper because you're going to want to take notes.
Good evening, my friends. So here back again at How to Make a Mark in the World, Finding Your Signature. And today we have a special guest. I got the opportunity to spend 9 whole days with her, and I got to learn a little bit about her, see her transform, and just absolutely, we just like connected, those people that you just connect with. And so she is here to just share a little bit about herself and how she's making a mark in the world. So Francine Ayala, go ahead and tell us who you are and how do you want to make your mark in the world?
Oh, I love that. First of all, thank you so much for the introduction. I absolutely adore you. And yes, our energy just synced up when we met each other.
Yes,
for those 9 days. It was so great. And thank you for having me as well.
Yes,
so I literally want to leave my mark in the world with just empowering women to and children to go out there and really live out the best life through joy, happiness, everything that connects to them, on such a bigger level where they can enjoy life to the fullest. My heart is just to give back and to really share the message of, growing, of having that opportunity to grow within, personal development space, to grow within, their business, if they want to grow within their career, to grow in relationships, and so just to really inspire and empower them to do so has been a mission of mine for the past 5 years. So
that's awesome. So tell us a little bit, like, how did this become a thing? How did it blow up? How did it get created? What was that thing that sparked and intrigued you to start doing this?
Actually, it's funny because I always share this story, and it's like I kind of laugh, I guess, because I'm in a different space now. But I actually started it out of depression. So I'm a women empowerment coach and speaker. My company is called WEWLA. WEWLA is our acronym for Women Empowering Women Living Authentically. And so I started that back in 2017 out of depression. I wanted to be able to inspire women to want more, to go after more. And in essence, it was like my own motivation. It was something that was a pillar for me to pull myself out of, this deep, dark hole I was in, because I had this stigma that I needed to be married, family, white picket fence by the time I was 40. And I was about to hit 40, and I was just not there. And so society places these, titles on us that we need to have, and I wasn't there. So I felt like a failure. And because I felt like a failure, I kept sabotaging myself to do anything bigger. And so it literally, I talk about how it's literally your pain, you turn it into your purpose, right? And so I really went through this struggle of understanding who I wanted to be, and really just by sharing some inspirational quotes with people. And nobody responded, nobody liked, nobody commented. So I went back into depression with the little itty bitty committee that you have in your head saying you're not good enough. Who do you think you are?
Yeah.
So yeah, I ultimately, I kept giving up, and then I said no. I kept coming back determined, like I was going to continue to share. And then we picked up momentum, and now we host women empowerment summits and conferences.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. So you started in 2017 out of depression. Yes. And how long did it take you to really start gaining that momentum into doing what you're currently doing?
Yeah, so it's funny because a lot of people don't realize that I was this leader in this platform of, empowering women, but yet I continue to self-sabotage. I continue to think I wasn't good enough. And so many people used to come up to me like, I love it, Francine, you're so inspiring, and I love what you're doing. And I'm just like, I kept retreating, it's like, I didn't know how to accept that I was creating a movement for women, and I didn't know how to accept that. So it's just, I just kind of kept going and trying to figure it out. And being in the online space, it hit a lot of people really easily. It didn't for me. I had to learn and understand the different tools you need in marketing and so forth. And so I tried different things, trial and error, as I built my business. And just this year, 2 months ago, we launched Wheela Connects, which is now our for-profit company, because we launched Wheela as our nonprofit company. And so now we're just evolving in different spaces, and people love our events. And I needed to be okay with people saying how much they love my events. And so I'm like, okay, I put on great events, you're good enough. And that actually kind of had a lot to do with me going through the training courses that I went through. I recently became a master trainer in NLP coaching, and that's neuro-linguistics programming. And so I get to really show up in a space to love myself, to be aware of the constant negatives of limiting beliefs that I had going on, and to show up differently, and to share with others how to do the same.
Yeah. I would have to say, learning neurolinguistics has been probably the most transforming and mind-blowing information that I've ever learned in my life. And, and just like I said, like just meeting you in the 9 days from when I met you until the end, you were dramatically different. And I only got to know you for 9 days. And so it's just amazing of how empowering our brain is, and to take that control and to show us, to reveal to us that we are good enough, that we can do anything we put our mind to, and we are enough and inspiring. And so that's so awesome. So tell me,
who knew?
Tell us. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. So it just kind of, something that just kind of fell into our laps, and it's just been transforming. But so tell us, like, how, okay, so you started your nonprofit in your depression, and then you shifted recently into the profit part?
The for-profit, yes. So basically our nonprofit, Wheela, was actually supposed to be launched in 2020. Well, we all know how that went. Everything went to a standstill. So of course, went back to like fighting with this whole, like, I can't do it. Do I just give it up? Like, no, we all had to learn how to pivot, because I mean, we all are given these different lessons and trials and obstacles in our lives to see how we're going to overcome them. It only builds up our resilience, our perseverance, it builds us stronger as people. So finally, 2 years later, 2022, we launched Wheela Nonprofit that is going to focus on business, leadership, and self-care. And so there's a whole vision for that. We want to help women on such a large level, and where it's also, I'm bringing in also another partnership, in a sense where they're gonna come in and empower young girls, and so I just want to share that, because it's so important to us because of what we're what's coming in 2023 for us. And then Wheela Connects is because I've never wanted to take from the nonprofit. Like, I don't want to do that. That's to help people on a larger level. I'm starting a grassroots in Panama as well, and so I want to take Wheela globally, as a nonprofit, to help within the United States and beyond. And because of our mission, and so I never wanted to source income from there. And so I started Wheela Connects as our for-profit company so that we can, we gain the momentum of still bringing in people to our overall mission that connects to our nonprofit. The women that I connect with that are part of my community over on Facebook, they want to be part of something bigger. They want to be part of something that is just amazing, like that they can really feel inspired and empowered to partner with or collab with. And I'm so grateful and blessed that these, women want to partner with me. And so Wheela Connects offers that membership opportunity to women who are just trying to get their name out there, who want to be in the online space. We have a network of about 10,000 that, goes from Facebook to Instagram to our email list. And so, and they're authentic. And that's why people connect to me, because I am authentic. You've seen me struggle. You've seen me try to fight through 5 years of building something. So it's like, I'm real, I'm authentic. You're going to get full transparency. And so building relationships is huge for me. So I always tell people, hey, you're going to come into my group or you're going to come into my networking event. Be you. Get to know people. Build who you are first. Like, hey, I'm Francine. I love to go on brunches. I love to hike. I have a 26-year-old son. I was a single mom at the age of 17. You know what I mean? Like, that's how you want to connect. You want to connect to somebody through the heart, and know that, you spark joy within them so that they can then build a relationship with you, whatever that may be, a friendship. I have women that are like literally going to my events and then connecting for lunch afterwards. I mean, they won't leave my events. We end our events at 8 p.m. and they're like there till 9. I am pushing them out the door because that's how much of a relationship building community that I've created, and it's because of women like that want to be in this space that I've been able to really grow on a larger level. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
sorry, I get passionate when I talk about it.
No, I love it. I can tell, like, I feel it. So that's so awesome. I can. I'm like, sign me up. How do I get connected with all these ladies? So
you got to come to our next virtual event next Thursday. So yeah, it'll be awesome.
Yes. I think did I sign up for it? I forget. Like I said, I just found it on Eventbrite. And yeah, I will definitely hop on there. So, So tell us, so like, what is your big vision? Like, what is the vision? What is the goal that you really, want to convey and let people really know what it is that you're doing?
So, with a nonprofit, it, like I mentioned earlier, it's business leadership and self-care, mental health, So I saw a lot of women struggling in that space of being a mom, a career woman, just trying to kind of get by, going through depression, going through anxiety. I saw a lot of that because I went through the same thing. And so we're going to have free workshops with the nonprofit. We're going to have different types of events that are, facilities. We'll have facilities built out, in LA, Orange County, and then also in different states, and then different countries. And so those facilities will also have a daycare center where a mom can just breathe and say, awesome. Here are my kids or kid for a day. And we'll turn around and say, here's a massage certificate. Go to your spa, just go unwind, take a day to just enjoy or sleep, go sleep. You know what I mean? So I really want them to know that there are women out there that really care, that want to help. It's just hard. Everybody's moving a mile a minute. And then, so that's the nonprofit portion. Obviously with Wheela Connects, we're going out and we're really meeting these women that want to connect on a larger level and want to be part of something bigger, like our mission. And for me personally, I want to speak on stages all over the world so that I can let people know that they are worth it, to invest in themselves, to love themselves, to understand that it's okay to not know everything, to not be okay, to really understand that they get to find out who they are. They get to find out what makes them tick. They get to realize that they were only given the tools that they had when they came into this world from people like parents, mentors, family members, friends, you know, that's all they knew. And they get to then turn around and say, hey, I want more, or this is the life I want. So then we get to give them the direction of how to get there. And that's why I loved NLP so much, because it's like, you know, we get to work with the neurology, we get to work with the nervous system, and to understand the negative emotions that keep people stuck. And so that's where I'm like, okay, now that I have these tools, I get to share with people on a bigger level to say, you know, you're worth it. Let's work on you. Let's work on how you can help release these negative emotions so that your body now knows how to recover from depression, anxiety, or recover from anything that could be affecting them. You know, oh, you're too emotional. Oh, well, you know what? I've had 30 or 40 or 50 years of, you know, emotional turmoil. So it's really like getting to the depths of who they are and helping them and helping them forgive themselves and then move forward. Because I think so many people are hurt and stuck and just don't know how to maneuver. And that's where we get to play a pivotal role in their lives going forward.
Yeah.
So
that's so awesome. Like you are so inspiring. Like seriously, I love all of this. And like, no wonder we have just connected, you know? And so I know when we were there in California, we had kind of chatted a little bit in the room, and you know, I was like, wow, like this is so cool. But like now just you sharing even more in depth of what it is that you do, I'm like, yes, like I want to be a part of that too. And you know, that's as how we just all line up. And like you said, like, you know, the society makes us think that we should be one way, or it should be this way or that way. And really, I don't think that's right at all. Like a society, the way, you know, like you said, the white picket fence, or, you know, should be married by this age, or should have kids, or a college degree, or this, that, whatever, you know, like, I think society sets us up for failure, because we think that if we don't have that, then, oh, well, then I'm less than, or I'm not worthy, or, you know, whatever. And so, you know, we put these standards on us that we should be at this point by this age, or, you know, whatever. And so, you know, share with us a little bit, you know, I know you said, you know, you had some obstacles in the beginning of getting all of this, you know, getting it off the ground and start moving. So tell us, you know, what were some of those obstacles that got in your way, but you just kept pushing and you persevered through it?
Yeah, so self-doubt, oh my goodness. I remember like I threw myself into so many free online courses. Okay. But the biggest downfall, or the biggest block, is I didn't take action. Because you can completely put yourself and immerse yourself into training, personal development, this, that, everything can be coming at you. But if you're not taking action, there's really nothing to get done. What are you doing? What are you working towards? So like the thing about me, and there's a lot of people out there like me, is I didn't ask for help. And so I just figured I had to do it all on my own. And I did, and I tried my best to do everything on my own, and that didn't really get me anywhere. And so, you know, I just kept maneuvering and trying different types of, you know, things, you know, okay. And then it wasn't until I kicked off Wheela Connects that I was like, I had a coach of mine tell me, she's like, this is your niche. This is what you're good at. You're good at connecting people. You're great at speaking. You're great at getting an audience. You're great at bringing people together. And I was like,
that's awesome.
Thank you. And so, and I knew that I was good at it, but I don't know, for some reason, there was just that reassurance that I needed. You know what I mean? And I was just like, oh no. And then of course, after, you know, our training, I was like, I can conquer the world.
Amen, sister.
I think a lot of us were just like, let's go. And so yeah, I mean, because believe me, I threw myself into personal development, you name it. Like I was trying all these different avenues. So if anybody out there continues to feel stuck, know that it's a program and that's continuously going on in your head, and why you keep moving back. So how are you going to move forward? Mentors, coaches, you have to get around people that are doing it. And the thing was with me is the reason why I wasn't putting myself around it is because I had that thought process of, I can't ask for help. So that really needs to get out of your head of, I can't ask for help. Yes, you can. You can ask for it. And then, invest in yourself. That is huge. You have to, at one point, start investing in yourself. And I did that too. Sometimes I invested in the wrong people, but trial and error,
Yeah.
So yeah, you really have to know who you're working with.
Yeah, been there, sister, been there.
Oh, so, I know, right? I think all of us have been there.
I know. But yeah. You to unpack all of that, like you said a lot in that little segment right there. Taking action is like huge, like you said, because you can get yourself so full of knowledge that you're like just overflowing with knowledge. I forget there's a word for that. I heard a word for that not too long ago, and I don't remember what it is, but you can just overflow yourself with knowledge, but it's really the action, just taking that step and just doing and figuring it out as you go. And it's never failure. It's always feedback. It's only failure if we just stop.
If we quit.
And so, yes. And so I love how you said, just getting into action and yeah, you hired a few people, coaches that were not the most beneficial, but again, that was feedback, not failure. And so you you learned from it, right? And then you finally got to the right set, because I can totally relate with you. I can so relate with you, because I've done the same thing, like full of knowledge, not asking for help, and just investing in the wrong people. And then, but the more that you just keep in movement and you just stay in that momentum, eventually the right things just start falling and clicking and aligning into place. And
absolutely.
What I also love about what you said is, investing in coaches, investing in yourself. And that's a theme on this podcast over and over and over again. Pretty much everybody that I have interviewed has said the same thing. Invest in yourself and invest in coaches. Every good coach has coaches, and more than just one coach. They have them in multiple areas of their life. And if we want to go somewhere where we've never been, we have to find somebody that's been where we want to go.
Correct. And
we hire them and say, show me, how did you do it? I want to get maybe not exactly where that person is, but in a ballpark, and rubbing shoulders and being in that group of people of like-minded. And I'm so excited to have all of our tribe, because there's so many people in there with just such the like-mindedness. And the more you hang out with the like-mindedness of people, the more that you just start growing. And do you ever find yourself, because I find this in myself sometimes, I'll say things or do things and I'm like, whoa, like, where did that come from?
Yeah. There were times like I'll be like, I'll say something that comes out of my mouth and I'm just like, wow, I am so smart.
I love it.
Where did that come from? Because honestly, 20 years ago, I was in banking for 17 years. So 20 years ago, I used to have this little thing that would sit on my shoulder and be like, I'd be at a networking thing and I'd be like all nervous and trying to talk to people. And it's like, who do you think you are talking, all cool and calm and what, you don't know what you're talking about. I literally had like, not voices, but like, I literally had something telling me that I wasn't good enough. And I was like, to be in a room like that. So like, sometimes like every now and then I don't I don't think that anymore at all, but it's like sometimes like when I'm talking, like every now and then, like something really good will come out and I'm just sharing just my passion and my energy, and all of a sudden this whole strand of sentences, and I'm just like, oh, check me out. I'm on fire.
Well, that just goes to show that you're in the right, you're in your powerhouse. Like that is who you are, who you're created to be, because when things just start flowing out of you and it's effortlessly and it's good and you're passionate, then things they just naturally flow. That's when you know you're walking in your power, you're walking in your niche, you're walking in who you're created to be.
Right.
So
No, for sure. And the thing about me is I love to laugh. I love to have fun. I love to crack jokes. So like when I speak like on stage and everything, I joke a lot, you know, and then I get serious and then I joke again and then I get serious. So my audience has fun with me.
well, you have an amazing personality. I love your
Oh,
personality.
thank you.
So you're like so sweet and kind-hearted, but then you also have that like that boom, like here she is.
I do.
I love it.
It's so funny. I'm like, I may be a little ghetto too, just a little bit. I went to a church function and they were like, the church wife was like, I'm a little ghetto. And I was like, oh, yay, my people.
That's awesome. We can blend in with the crowd. That's probably why we're a good connector. You can blend in with the crowd. So you can be professional or you can be a little bit of ghetto, you know, whatever works.
Professional, it's all good. No, I honestly, I get along with everyone. And so it's funny. But
yeah, that's awesome.
I love that. Yeah.
So tell us, what is some of the best business advice that you've ever been given that you would love to pass along to other people?
So the best business advice I'd been given and that I didn't follow through with, but honestly, I know we touched upon it, and then I'll share one of my big business advices is it's honestly surrounding yourself with the people. So I've had mentors tell me, I've had coaches tell me that you need to be in the space where, you know, you're learning, you're growing with those people. And so, like I said, I didn't take advantage of it until now. And so every meeting that I have, it's elevating, you know, it's elevating you up. So it's really putting yourself in that space. And one of my biggest drawbacks, which I didn't realize, again, internal programming, was I had financial blocks. I had big financial blocks that I was unaware of because, again, our unconscious mind will hold on to things that our conscious mind isn't aware of. And so if you've ever heard the saying of, you know, money doesn't grow on trees, we don't have enough, you know, all that stuff, then it just gets programmed and you're just like thinking, I don't have enough. So when you talk about changing the verbiage of how much is it, you know, how much do I need to pay to how much do I get to invest in myself, then that's when those shifts begin to happen, because you start looking at you as an investment, you know, versus a, you know, expense. And so that was huge. And that's what, you know, that's the advice that was given to me that I can definitely relate to. And so I'm grateful for that. And just really taking action is what you have to do, because you can have all this knowledge, and people would say knowledge is power, and it's not. It's, you know, action is, you know, knowledge is great, but, you know, applied action is power. So you have to take action. And my biggest advice to people is to be your biggest cheerleader. Entrepreneurship is very lonely, very hard, because when you start to level up, people will start to drop off. Your best friend, your family members, your, you know, your colleagues, anybody that you're close to that no longer fits into a box that they put you in, they're going to start leaving your life. And that was one of the hardest things for me to go through, because again, because I have such a big heart, because I love on people for who they are, you know, not just because of, you know, what they make or what they don't make or whatever that may be, or, you know, I just love people. And so you have to really be your biggest cheerleader to know that you have a big mission in life to go after. And And you need to just put that aside and be like, I'm going to do this because this is my calling. This is my purpose. And there is power in your purpose. So be your biggest cheerleader. And when you get lonely, just call us up. We'll be like, hey girl, hey.
Yes, that's so good. Yes, to be your biggest cheerleader, because I also have been through that too.
Oh yeah.
And I find that I would say a lot of people that I talk to that are in, entrepreneurs and where they want to level up and they want to really walk in their true purpose and in their life. And, when you don't fit in that little box anymore, that people try to put you in, unfortunately, it's that shaking of like, I had a vision one time when I was going through that a few years ago. It was like an apple tree. It was like it was an apple tree just shaking, and all the bad apples were falling off. And so, the good apples were still at the top. And, so, just having to be okay, that's the biggest, a big piece of information and knowledge is to say, what, I'm my biggest cheerleader. Like you said, I'm my biggest cheerleader, and it's okay that these people, they might come back around or they might not. And that's okay. That's okay.
And that's okay.
So
yeah. And see, the thing is, like, sometimes people are just like, oh, I don't want to lose these people. I don't want to lose these people. It's like, you don't really lose them. They lose you. You know what I mean? And so it's like, you have to be willing to just say, okay, that's okay. You got to bless and release, and sometimes, my friends are still around, don't get me wrong, but the conversations are different. So when you're having those conversations where you're a business owner or you're an entrepreneur, you're a speaker, I connect and have conversations with speakers, entrepreneurs that are helping me level up in my business. I can't have those same conversations because they're just different conversations, and that's okay too. You know what I mean? So just, and that's fine. So you bless and release,
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. I love all that. And I love the, investing, changing the verbiage, and what do I get to invest? And that is so good. So I forgot to mention at the beginning of this recording that you all might want to grab a pen and paper and also maybe rewatch this, because she shared a lot of little nuggets of information and just, take a Post-it note and write some of these things down and, put it on your bathroom wall, or, put it on your walls, in your living room or your refrigerator, or maybe on your screen on your phone, or, things like that. Because sometimes, it's good to have these bits of information to get into our brain so that we remember, and so we can start shifting the way we look at things. So
absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
And if it's a constant reminder as you're reading it daily, that's why they say journaling is important, writing out your goals, speaking out your goals, so that it is getting, attached to your thought process and your brain. So love it. Really quick, going back to the biggest cheerleader, just know that when I started my Facebook page 5 years ago and I started posting quotes, nobody liked them. And then one day, one of my friends, or one of the ladies in the group, came up to me. She's like, oh my God, Francine, I love what you're doing. You're so inspiring. And I was like, what? You never comment, you never like, what's going on, So I always want to tell people are watching. Just keep going. It's only you that gets stuck in your head that wants to quit. So continue to go, get past the uncomfortable zone, and just continue to shine your light, because believe me, you will get there.
That's awesome. Francine, that's so good. And I've absolutely loved just connecting and being on here with you, and just hearing your heart and your passion, because it definitely oozes out of you. And it's so good. Yes. So, is there like a special like scripture or quote or anything that you kind of fall back on, that on those days that you just, life is life, and that you just can lean on?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So it's I always mess up the words, because it's like, that's, I should say it enough, like you said, remember it, but it's Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And so it's like, yes, I can do all things. So whenever I have self-doubt, I'm just like, no, I'm a child of God.
Yes, I
Like,
love
no.
it.
So
Yes.
yes, so I know that I can do all things. So
Yeah,
through him.
that's good. That's good. Amen.
Yeah.
I agree.
Amen.
Agree. So if anybody wants to get connected with you, can you
Yes.
share how do they get connected?
So I like to say, Google me. It's so funny because it was hard for me to say that before because I was like, who do I think I am? Google me. But honestly, Google me. And no, I say it with fun. It's only because depending on the platform that you use, you can connect to me. I'm on social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. I'm even on TikTok. I rarely go over there. But
Nice.
every now and then I post, so you can find me just on the platform. You can find my website. You can find Wheela, WEWLA.com, which will then take you to Wheela Connects, which has access to my stuff as well. You know, you'll be able to find all my social media links there as well. So, but yeah, pretty easy.
And so all of your social media is your name?
All of my social media is my name. Yeah. So
Okay.
if they literally just were to Google me, if you type into Google, it'll actually even share interviews that I've had. It'll share, because I was part of a Voyage LA's interview like last year sometime, I want to say. It'll share events, it'll share images and things like that. So it'll share all of our websites, most likely. But I know every now and then I'll tell somebody to Google me just to see what else shows, you know? I'm like, can you Google my name so I can see what's out there?
That's hilarious.
So yeah, it's so funny because it's actually pretty cool. Like, who would have thought? You know what I mean? But honestly, when you start believing in yourself and you know that you're good enough and you know that you're meant to do more and you're gonna put yourself on that spotlight out there, say it, take it, own it, be it. So
That is awesome. And on that note, because that was
yes,
perfectly said, we will hop on off of here. I thank you so much for just
of
sharing with the
course.
audience. And I hope somebody gets connected with you and you have a big mission and a big heart and a big vision.
Thank you.
And I believe that you're making a mark in the world, and you're using your pain, and that's the whole premises of like how to make a mark in the world, finding your signature. The signature part is using your pain, your purpose, your talents, your gifts, experiences, and using that to make a mark. And you are so totally doing that. So
Thank you.
I appreciate it. And I thank you for connecting on here. So
Yes,
all right,
thank
my
you for
friends.
having me.
Yes,
I appreciate you.
Thank you. So we will talk soon, guys. Bye-bye.
This is your host, Rachel Best, and I hope you loved the show. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel, as well as share with a friend. If you would like, you can follow me on Instagram as well as Facebook under Rachel Best. You can also find me on my website at rachelbestspeaks.com.